Have you ever found yourself tired, fatigued, irritable, achy, sore, and looking for a long-term solution, thinking it's got to be more than exercise or my nutrition or sleep? That's what I'm going to be covering inside this episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Performance Podcast. Welcome all new listeners and welcome back to those who have heard our content in the past. Today we're covering hyperbaric oxygen therapy and how it can be improved your wellness routine. Before I go into the podcast, what is new in life at Sports Performance? What is happening? Our team is doing fantastic. We're getting ready for the holidays. We're all trying to stay healthy and happy, and we've been really working on what the next year holds for our company. As a team, we're working on more team bonding and really strengthening our team to be able to deliver the best amount of care, the best type of care, the best experience. And we really take a lot of pride in doing that. And for anyone who doesn't know, we take 2 hours out of every single week to meet, to review client cases, to look at who's not getting better at the rate that they need to, or who's doing really well and that we want to celebrate them. And we really take that time to be able to do that. We also take the time to bond as a team, to make sure that not only are the clients happy, but also internally our team. And so that's a big decision for us as a company to invest so much in time and energy into our internal family and then our external family. So that's really been where all our energy is what are we doing as a team to continue to strengthen who we are and the outcomes that we serve. So going into the new year, I'm excited for that. And it really comes into why we chose this topic for the podcast. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy. If you've been around us for the last year, it has been a big service that we've been providing for a lot of people because of the benefit. And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to describe the basics, the fundamentals, the essentials, so we can understand how this is really going to affect your wellness routine into the next year. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy is where you wear an oxygen mask that is delivering oxygen into your bloodstream. And now, you might say, well, I've seen oxygen masks before. Let me help you understand how this works. So all of our cells, we're made of millions and millions of cells that have these little engines in them, and they create this energy inside that helps us, open our eyes, to sleep, to function, to breathe, to move our hands. We need energy to be able to do any of those things. In order for our cells to stay alive, they have to have the fuel to keep them going, and that fuel is oxygen. Think about if you've ever, been in a pool and you were underwater too long and you were running out of oxygen running to the system, and so the body just went fight or flight, and your job is to get out of the pool or, be out of the water. Think about if you've ever been in a situation where your foot fell asleep. There's not a lot of oxygen going to the arm or to the leg, and that kind of sends an alert to the body. You need oxygen, and you feel that. Or maybe you've gone into altitude and you have less oxygen in the air, and so that's making you feel dizzy. So your brain needed oxygen. So our whole body functions on oxygen, and if you don't have that, it becomes a problem. Then tissues die, they slow down, and they eventually die. And so that's eventually what happens with oxygen. So the more oxygen you have into your system, the better that you function. Well, the challenge is our body is kind of capped at 100% oxygen. That's how much we can carry. And so hyperbaric oxygen therapy is where you use a oxygen mask, and you're going to be enclosed in a chamber, and that chamber is going to fill with pressure, and that's going to help push oxygen and deliver into your bloodstream at a higher rate than 100%. And that chamber, it feels like it's 1, 2, or 3 atmospheres of pressure, which feels like if you were going up on an airplane. That feeling inside your head or their body, or you've gone scuba diving and you've went down underwater, several feet, 50 feet or 100 feet. You feel that pressure on your head. Well, that's what hyperbaric oxygen chambers are doing. They're applying pressure. So if you're taking in oxygen into your body and you're having pressure being applied, that oxygen now can be dissolved into your bloodstream through your lungs and pushed in. And now what it allows your bloodstream to do is carry more oxygen, more than 100%, more than its current carrying capacity. And now, why is that so important? Well, because if your bloodstream normally can carry 100%, and these are all these little fancy cells that carry the oxygen, when you push gas into your body, into your bloodstream, it can now be transported through something fancy called your plasma. Basically, you're super saturating your bloodstream with oxygen up to 400% what your normal capacity is. And you're like, well, how does that help me? Well, it allows your body to run faster, to heal faster. And what I mean by that is it's going to fuel those cells. Maybe you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and your cells are no longer moving at the normal rate that they would. So for instance, if you were 70 years old, 60 years old, and you used to be able to go run 3 times a week, and now every time you run, you feel a little sore, and it takes you 2 or 3 days to recover. Well, that's because your cells can't recover or repair in the same time that you were when you were 18. So why does more oxygen help you with that? Well, the reason why the cell can't repair itself as fast as it could before is because it moves slower. It has, the oxygen delivery is slower. So what we're going to do is we're going to saturate your body with the oxygen. It helps the cell run at a faster pace, gives it more gas to the vehicle, and now it's going to allow you to repair and to feel better faster. So it'll alleviate soreness, it'll help you recover. Well, the great part is it doesn't just go to an injured area. That oxygen goes all over your body, to your brain, to your eyes, all the things. So if you're having trouble with memory, if you're having trouble with post-traumatic stress disorder or concussions, anything that is non-muscular, things that you can't touch, if you're having headaches, migraines, difficulty sleeping, anxiety, depression, these are all challenges that are inside the brain that are impacting the way that your brain functions or your body functions. And so by adding oxygen, you're adding more fuel to allow those cells to work at an ideal environment and allow them to heal, allow them to speed up recovery, allow them to function at their greatest capacity. So now you know what hyperbaric oxygen therapy is and how it can help people basically live a better life, to overcome any injuries, overcome any surgeries, overcome any illnesses that they're struggling with. And that's beautiful because it gives people an option to do recovery or enhance health without going a medicated way, no longer relying on medications or therapies that require injections or surgeries or those type of things. So if you're looking for a way to stay healthy, a way to heal from the inside out, and do it naturally, hyperbaric oxygen therapy is perfect for you. So let me share how this is going to help your wellness routine. And by definition, we talk about a wellness routine outside of your exercise routine. What do you normally do? You probably go to the gym 2 to 5 times a week, whatever your routine is. You probably eat, fairly healthy with a couple, of cheat meals, as people would call them. You're fairly good about your hydration. You sleep 6 to 8 hours. Maybe for some of you do 5 hours. And so what you're trying to do is put together this routine across a week. What's your health routine? And if you're exercising, anytime you exercise, you have to understand you're actually doing damage to your body. Most people don't know that. You're actually doing damage. What I mean by that is if you're running laps or you're lifting weights, that actually tears down muscle tissue. And so exercising is great because you are tearing down muscle tissue, but your body at night and through your food and your sleep and recovery rebuilds stronger so that you can develop bigger muscles or more resilient joints or whatever it is. And that's how you get stronger and more resilient against sicknesses, against injuries, against surgeries. So it's a good thing, but your body doesn't recognize it as helping, it recognizes it as trauma. And then you become more resilient, more repaired, and that's how you execute on being more fit. Well, the problem is as you get older, it's more challenging because it's harder to recover as fast. You're not moving as good. Maybe you're not sleeping as good. You have some life challenges. Maybe you're a new parent and you have a newborn and you don't get the sleep that you want. So you're living in this brain fog. Maybe you have headaches and migraines. It's harder to maintain that routine, but it doesn't mean impossible. And so as you are still exercising in your 20s and 30s, you're doing maybe 4 or 5 times a week. In your 40s and 50s, 3 times a week is tough to maintain because of life, but also because your ability to recover and perform at a high level, or you're struggling through aches and pains. So what you were doing before is no longer working and it requires more attention. And that's where people start to struggle. They sort of think, well, I'm just gonna get more sleep and I'm gonna eat some more things, eat some better quality food, and that doesn't do it enough. And so you finally figure out, gosh, my body is feeling slow. And so most people will do blood work and see if their energies are good. And so ultimately they find hyperbaric oxygen therapy because it's a natural way to improve your energy to do these things. But I'm gonna break it down to 3 ways that it helps you maintain your wellness routine. Those things are mental, emotional, and physical health. So think about this from a mental side. Have you ever worked out consistently and you felt like you were, tired or fatigued? You just felt like, gosh, you feel sluggish from, your brain, you're tired. And you're trying to figure out, okay, is it that I got enough sleep? What is it I can do? Well, what happens with hyperbaric oxygen therapy, it can keep oxygen to the brain at a very high level to allow you to have less of that fatigue feeling and feeling more alert. Now that allows you to function at a higher rate. Maybe you're, you have kids, or you have a demanding job, and it requires that you're always alert. And if you're not getting enough sleep and you feel sore and you're not really refueling the way you need to, hyperbaric oxygen therapy can be a complement to these things, because what it can do is it can provide the oxygen that you need necessary to help your brain cells function at the highest rate possible, so that you can be more alert, less fatigued, less sluggish, and that will help you in your overall approach. Now, that's for the person who struggles with, their mental health, their ability to stay alert at a high level. What about emotional? Well, there's a lot of people who suffer from anxiety, from depression, and these are chemical and hormonal imbalances and challenges that people suffer from either through trauma or they've had it from birth. And what will happen is, imagine some people, that same level of exposure of exercise or work demands or everything else. For some people, it's difficult to be able to control that level of challenge, and they become irritable. It's tough to make a decision. They feel it's that they're concerned about the past or concerned about the future. It's very difficult to navigate this. And so what hyperbaric oxygen therapy does is it helps balances and produce the actual chemicals that help create happiness, that control you from anxiety, and it does this naturally. What it's trying to do is keep your balance in equilibrium. It's trying to get your body to find homeostasis, which means that it's under control. So if you have too much alertness and you're hyperactive, its job is to find what is overproduced. It doesn't know any better. It's just trying to find equilibrium. So it's going to help bring in some chemicals and hormones to help kind of put you at a steady state. Whereas if you're depressed and suffering from challenges, its job is to bring in some dopamine to give you some of that release. It's just trying to find where balance exists in your life. So instead of feeling irritable, it helps create happiness in your life, happiness in your mood. And that's just through chemicals and hormonal balance. So for the person who is struggling mentally, who needs more energy to be alert, it's fantastic for you. For those who struggle with emotional challenges, that can be great to balance you out. And the last one for a lot of people is important, is the physical. If you've ever felt sore, achy, you're stiff, those joints aren't recovering at the rate that they used to. And, maybe you do stretch therapy, maybe you do massage, maybe you do physical therapy, maybe you don't do any. And you just feel like, gosh, my existing stretch routine isn't doing its job. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy can help your cells function at a higher rate so that they repair faster. So you're less sore, you're less fatigued, and actually you feel good. And so you have more energy throughout the day, not just mental, but physical energy. So for those who are looking to find a balance, equilibrium, so that their wellness routine is maintained and you don't start to drop with injuries, fatigue, depression, anxiety, any of these challenges that have held you back in the past, and you're looking, well, I just this year, I want to be consistent. I just want to do the things that I love, and you're looking for some way to do that naturally. In addition to complementing your sleep patterns, you're working on your sleep, great. You work out the new mattress, that's great. You got the new pillow, that's fantastic. You're eating better, that's fantastic. You hired a personal trainer, that's fantastic. You're exercising more than ever, great. How do we keep you there without allowing sickness or, any challenges along the way? How do you keep you at your highest level? Hyperbaric oxygen therapy can be that for you. So if you're wondering on how to do that, is this for me? Contact us at Sports Performance Physical Therapy to be able to help you point in that direction. Maybe it's not for you right now. Maybe it's not the best time point, or right now is the time and this is how I can help. And if you've been wondering, I want to try it one time, I want to see it, I can tell you it's not a one-time, visit. It's not a one-time thing that's going to boost you. It'll help you feel good. The very first time I tried it, I felt like I had, really good vision. My memory, I was alert. I had really good memory, but that fades off. And so the real thing here is, how do you continue to keep it at a high level with more of a maintenance approach? So we do offer several things to be able to help you through those phases, and what we call our acclimation week, where you come in 3 times to see and sample that for the week. So If you're interested in any of that, we'd love to be able to help you out. You can go to our website at sportsperformancept.com/hyperbaric, and that'll give you more information. But ultimately, if you're looking to improve your wellness routine, improving how good you feel, this would be the next step for you. So there you have it. I hope you guys are doing well into the holidays and staying fit and active and not eating too many cookies and goodies. We will see you on the next episode. Take care. Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on improving your lifelong health without aches and pains. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.